Okay, Spark and Plug Talks, Season 3. This is an episode. I'll never remember the number. And we are with the fantastic dudes, and I'll name them off after I introduce them, of Helen, Kelter, Skelter. Thank you, guys. Sans John. I told him no ASMR, but here we are. No, I'm just playing.
The crowd.
And we are with Eli, Mr. Tim, Mr. Cody, and Mr. Scott.
What up?
Did I get him right?
Yo.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what my students call me, Mr. Tim.
Mr. Tim. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm learning from you today, Tim.
Hold on. Do I need to teach something?
It's Dr. Tim to you.
Dr. Tim,
Yeah.
sorry. And John cannot be here, but he's with us in spirit.
Yes.
And we just got done recording and filming a fantastic performance from the dudes, and greatly appreciate them driving not to us at first, but mentally to us, and a little search and rescue going on, but nothing too serious.
Didn't get too hairy out there.
We only
And,
had one guy who flipped us off.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
It was really uncalled for.
A little Oklahoma
It
hospitality.
was just like, dude, we are sharing the road. Like, what the fuck, man?
God
We
damn
pulled
it.
over so you could, keep going.
Bastard.
And he was just like, bird right at him. Like, God
Damn
damn.
it. Nonetheless, appreciate you guys putting up with it and making it out here.
Thanks for
Thanks for
having
having us. Yeah.
And let's get started by, man, I always like diving into where you guys are coming from musically, kind of where you began, what you started listening to, what your parents were playing that you had to be soaked into your membranes of the brain because it was playing all the time. Perry Como. No, I'm just playing. Eli, why don't we start with you, man? What kind of did you start listening to? Where do you draw inspiration from?
My folks were bumping Prince in the minivan for sure. Lots of
Hell
Prince
yeah.
in the minivan.
What a sentence.
Yeah, for sure. Some George Michaels for sure. A lot of that. They were into Queen and stuff like that. My mom always tells this story of she had this like Hooked on Classics record that she would play when I was a kid, and that was the only thing that would calm me down. So I guess chopped up small little pieces of classical music would have been like some of my first. I don't even remember that, but yeah, my first listenings for sure. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
I think my first experience with music was probably heard it through the grapevine, the Raisinets.
Wow, you remember
California
actually
Raisin.
like hearing that, being
I
like,
just
this is the
remembered
first.
it, yeah.
Tim was a boy when it came out.
Yeah.
Dr.
Is
Tim.
that when you gain consciousness?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
No, and then let's see. I remember seeing the Laser Light Show with my parents at the Omniplex for Pink Floyd, and
Well, you're really dating yourself right now. No,
that
I'm
did
just
it.
playing.
That did. Oh, maybe yeah. But that did it for me too. So, but yeah, I grew up with a lot on like my mom was like big folk music. I always like credit my mom because she's like got way better music taste than I do. She's way cooler than I am. But she's always like, even at like 77, she's still finding like all the cool new stuff.
Wow.
So,
Props to her, man.
Yeah.
What's your mom's name?
Judy.
Props to you, Judy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Judy.
Judy's
So-
awesome.
Yeah. What about you, man?
I mean, most of my early memories are like, country radio, like the
Hell
Twister.
yeah. Why
you
not?
know,
Yeah.
like,
Hell yeah. Why not?
Garth Brooks, a lot of Garth Brooks in
Disgusting.
the car.
Awful. Terrible. Horrible.
But my dad was into a lot of older country too. Like he got me into a lot of Hank Williams and Roger Miller and stuff.
Yeah, very
like
cool.
That. So
Yeah.
like that's always I'm still way into that.
I have very fond memories of like the old Disney Robin Hood
yes.
soundtrack.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
That was a big influence on me.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that, and then some of those older ones too. Because did Roger Miller just do Robin Hood?
I
I thought he did another song for something else.
so.
but
He
maybe
was
I'm-
like originally on the Jungle Book with Louis Prima, but I think they cut all of his stuff from
Very cool.
from that movie.
Well,
He's very
yeah.
educated on that.
I had a feeling I was talking to the right guy.
Yeah, do tell. I might you might fact check me there, but I think you could still find like some of the songs they didn't use for the soundtrack,
Oh,
maybe on
very
Spotify
cool.
or something.
Okay,
of, like,
my
some-
2-year-old is very into the Jungle Book and Robin Hood right now.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
get a
great.
lot of that sound. I've listened to the Bare Necessities more than any human should in their life. But,
Great song.
Yeah,
It could be worse.
it could definitely be
Yeah.
worse.
Cinematic masterpiece.
Yes.
Definitely.
Sure.
Yeah, my kiddo got obsessed with Wipeout. I'm gonna get Scott to teach him drums someday. He's really
Oh,
into drums,
boy.
so
Yeah.
anything that's drum heavy, he's into.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't quite taught. I listen. My daughter, she's listens. It's kind of vice versa. I obviously listen to a lot of what she wants to listen to because she demands it. You know, Elsa.
Yeah,
And then,
some Let It
but
Go.
she also listens to a lot of what I want to. And the only thing I can get her to really connect with is when is in Counting Worms when he goes arf arf. And she
Oh,
really
nice.
likes to
That's
growl and get into it. Yeah, it's pretty. It's not quite guttural like I want it to be, but I'm training her to use her
It'll
stomach
There you go.
muscles.
It'll get
Get
there.
that diaphragm.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what about you, Scott? Where are you coming from, man?
I mainly like when I was really little. I was sort of raised on a lot of Motown.
Oh, very cool.
And my mom, like, she just, I don't know, she always wanted to be a drummer herself.
Oh,
So I
okay.
think I kind of
Little
just
Karen Carpenter
just
action?
inadvertently came up in like a drum-friendly household, and then my first cassette I bought myself with like my own money was like a compilation of a bunch of like
Oh,
late
nice.
80s early rap music, and that was before I even knew that like I liked music at all. And then when I started playing drums, like my very first sort of like, okay, this is what I'm into was like Jimi Hendrix, basically.
Oh, very-
So,
okay.
Like I had kind of like a weird, and then I kind of went back to hip hop, and I don't know. So like I kind of have a weird approach, or I guess a weird background as a drummer.
Oh man, if there's one thing I've learned asking people these questions is that there is no weird path because every motherfucker comes in here, dude. That thing is not a straight line. It is like
For
the
sure,
curviest
yeah.
son of a bitch I've ever seen, man. So people just, I'll be like, what influences you? You know what? And they're, I don't know, the things that are rattled off. I'm like, wow, and you're a heavy metal musician now. Like that's kind of crazy. And they're like,
for
yeah,
sure.
no, yeah. One of my favorite bands is still so and so.
Destiny's
Yeah,
Child.
yeah, you know, whatever. I love Beyonce. You know, I'm like, wow, props to you, man.
I'm a big Swiftie.
Yeah, a
Big
big Swiftie.
Swiftie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard that one too. Yeah,
I'm personally not. I was impersonating that
Okay,
person.
I gotcha.
props to you if you are.
Kind of
man.
into-
I won't judge.
Gregorian chants.
How's it go?
Tuvan throat singing.
You ought to
Yeah.
know Tim, your last name.
I'm more into the didgeridoo scene.
When did
Yeah, didgeridoo.
which is great because we do have a didgeridoo.
Tim's got to try it out before he leaves.
Yeah,
I'm saying
I will.
he's got to beat Ryan.
I'm
from
working
the
on my
news.
circular breathing right
yeah.
now.
Make sure to wet your lips because otherwise it's a weird experience.
Just don't make eye contact with anybody when you wet your lips.
When did
Stare
yeah.
right into
when
your
was
eyes.
do you guys always say your full band name, Helen, Kelter, Skelter, or do you call it like
can go by
HKS or
HKS.
Okay,
yeah.
I was curious. I don't know. It's saying it every time. Like,
It's a
what
lot.
if it was like in a
Yeah.
multiple times in a sentence or whatever? It just seems you just abbreviate it.
It's
at
kind
some
of
point,
funny to
but-
watch people like mess it up.
Yeah, no one can ever
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like the most dreaded moment for me is like whenever I do have to have a conversation with somebody that doesn't know me, that doesn't know everything about.
Oh,
the
like
band
yeah,
stuff,
I'm
and
in a
they're like-
band called.
and then they're like, "What's your band name?" I'm like, "I don't even really want to tell you that."
Fuck you.
Man,
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a
It
similar
doesn't
experience.
matter. You're
Yeah.
not gonna remember it. You're not gonna
Right.
look
A lot of
it up.
people just
don't
say
ask me that.
like Helter Skelter.
How
yeah.
mom?
Like they think that's the band name.
It's funny whenever other bands are like, opening or
Yeah.
whatever, and they'll like,
Yeah.
all right, Helter Seltzer is
Yeah.
up next.
Seltzer, yeah.
We had and it's right up there on that Pigfest poster. We had a band we were in called Moses and the Long-Legged Emus, and it had like the umlaut above the O and everything.
Yeah, slash it. That was a complete bitch to type in when I had to do it on DistroKid, but it was worth it.
and it was the same thing. You know, people were like,
What now?
If
Well,
you
that's
need,
a
if you need the
name.
umlaut, it's Command U on Mac.
Okay.
Command U, then type in the letter that's your umlaut on.
for people going through a similar experience. I'll make sure
Still
to
remember that
put
shit.
that in our SEO stuff, so that way anyone who like how to type an umlaut, and it'll pop up this podcast
Command
exactly
U.
15 minutes. Yeah,
Entertaining and informational.
It's gonna be.
That's what we'll tagline ourselves
Is
there,
that
yeah.
the name of the
Yeah.
episode?
yeah, entertaining and informational.
Yeah.
We
It
try
should
to
be.
tackle
Yeah.
all points of life with this podcast. You know,
You got to get
Get
that
some- get some life
educational
lessons in.
tag.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. When did HKS kind of formulate? When was the birth of that?
10 years ago.
2013.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 10 years ago. We played our first show in August of 2013. Yeah, and it
Wow.
formulated earlier that year, kind of as a recording project first, and then we got some tunes together and like we should play these out.
Are you guys kind of based down in Norman, the
Yeah,
Norman
for
area?
sure.
Yeah. Okay.
We
I had
almost
an
went
idea.
by the Lazy Circles.
Yeah, now that's a brewery.
Wow. Time marches on.
Yep,
Crazy.
we gave them the good name.
Everyone be
can
like,
pronounce that
Helen
one.
Kelter Skelter
Yeah.
Brewery. What
Yeah,
the fuck?
Yeah, wild beers.
How'd you guys all know each other? You just kind of just knowing each other through the scene in a way?
We went to high school together, me and
Oh,
Eli,
okay.
and we kind of hung out in art class.
Uh huh.
Just like to listen to how do you say it? What's it?
Cigaros.
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 Oh, yeah.
So we would do that.
Bob
and then, you know,
Cigaros.
just hang out. You know,
Side
That makes-
project.
I think Sephra showed us when we were in ACM. Sephra Schuber, is that her? Yeah,
Yeah.
She was one of our instructors, and she was like, we had to do an art of listening class, and one of those was a Sigur Rós
Oh, yeah,
song.
man.
Yeah, and it was it was an act in the art of listening for sure.
Most
It was a cool
definitely.
song, but it was like, yeah, it was. I don't know if I'd gone out and searched it myself, but it was dope that I did. That I found
Right.
it.
Sure.
Hell yeah, man. And you guys were. And then where did the rest of the guys come from?
Cody.
Just kind of a
Yeah, I
Took
popped
him-
out of holes
we
in the
took him
ground.
from another band.
Well, I was
Sorta.
so I was
That
working.
we were
with,
in. So-
yeah.
We're all in the
okay,
same
I know.
band.
I know you guys.
I was working with
Probably like-
John, who's not here, at Royal Bavaria. It's a German restaurant in kind of the more Norman area, and he was he mentioned we'd talked about music at some point, and I'd said I play bass, and he was looking for a bassist, so we were doing
Everyone is
Yeah, we were doing like a
50s.
50s cover band. Well, there was some originals too, I think, but
a
I don't-
50s
maybe
cover
not,
band.
Yeah.
You can't just leave me on that. Come on. What?
Yeah,
What
like,
would- what did that entail?
Some Fujiyama Mama. I
think
remember
played
that.
Lap steel in there, right?
Yeah,
think-
yeah. You were
Who
there.
was this for?
Yeah.
Who was this?
We
You're just
never
hanging
never
out.
even.
Okay.
I
I was
never
like,
played a
fucking
show.
around.
I was like,
I
what
don't
was this
Yeah.
clientele?
Yeah.
Was this who was this? That was like,
Well,
hell
it all
yeah.
started with the Jug Band, I think, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, there was a lot of jug band.
Great
folks
American
in
Jug
there.
Band, and we were in that band, sort of, right? It was around the same time.
No, I joined jug band later. It was after I was
Oh,
already
okay.
with you guys.
So it was the 50s band.
So I remember Tim approaching me at one of the 50s band shows and talking about, he was putting together, you and Eli were putting together the HKS stuff and needed a bassist. So I kind of just stepped
And you
in
gave
for a
up the
little bit.
50s band for that?
I think we were
Oh.
doing
I think
both
we all
there for a
did.
while.
It kind of imploded. It's
Yeah.
more what happened.
But yeah, and then I've been in it ever since. I stepped out when I had my first kid right before the pandemic, so I was out for a couple years, and then I'm back in.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Right
and
on,
we're
man.
very glad he is.
Can't
Yeah.
quit you, baby.
Aw.
What about Scott?
I came in later. I think it was 2016 when I
Okay.
started playing with them.
Well, still, I mean, you say later, but that's
Well,
Still
that's
a
and
good
then-
stretch.
and
8
then-
years.
Definitely the
I
majority of
know,
the
eight
band.
years
I
ago.
know, man. It went by fast too. I mean, the pandemic kind of.
Oh yeah.
Like those 3 years or whatever just were like
Before times.
blur. So I don't.
How'd you
does-
guys deal with weathering it all? Was it kind of? I mean, you couldn't play shows, right? Was there?
Yeah,
Oh
Some
yeah,
practices.
we had 16 shows booked, and we
Yeah,
had
we
to
were-
cancel all of them.
we were gonna make a pretty hard push that year. We had a lot lined out, and then all of a sudden, it was like, okay, total breaks hit. I think we all kind of went into like our own little cocoons for
Yeah.
I don't know that we even like really talked for like 6 months.
Man, it was
And,
weird. It was like, yeah, I don't know. You kind of got to get that creative juice out of you, in
Sure,
a
yeah.
way. And it
Yeah.
was like having to navigate it without other people or, over a screen. It's just, I don't
It-
know.
Yeah.
we-
Felt
we
pretty
s-
damn weird.
Pretty
We
hard.
tried a little bit of that. We tried doing some online jamming.
Yeah.
It was just a total
Some online
Yeah.
jamming.
Laggy. It was called Jam
like the
Kazam.
latency,
Jam
and,
Kazam.
it was fucking awful.
Sorry, guys, that was
Yeah.
my fault.
Yeah.
And
We tried it.
Eli and I kind of started like Eli got the line on this bar that like would let us use it.
Oh, okay.
And so,
Because it was
like,
closed.
yeah. And so we kind of like went to Hobbit mode, and then everybody kind of started trickling in again and whatnot, and then everything kind of mellowed out. when
Yeah, it
we
was a
got
nice
into it.
big room. We could all
6 feet.
definitely be more than 6 feet away from
Yeah.
each
Oh,
other and all
nice.
that stuff. Yeah. So
Dope, man.
That was probably about 6
Yeah.
months
And
into it.
honestly, if that hadn't happened, like I don't know what would have come of us, because I feel like, I mean, personally, I was kind of hanging on by a thread with music at that point.
Yeah,
because
sure.
everything was just so uncertain, and all of a sudden it seemed, it was either dangerous or it was like in bad taste,
Yeah.
or like you couldn't really make anybody happy, especially yourself. So
Man, I remember when it first, I don't want to say started, but kind of like a lot of the big things were being canceled. Public gathering things were like, we got to stop. And I remember a lot of people were super pissed at Stereophonics because they had like a two nights over in Europe at some whatever, and they were like, you have to cancel. And they were like, no, fuck this. Everybody's paid and cancel. And they were like, they got fined and they got shit on. And then 2 years later, everybody's like, power to them, fuck them. It's just a crazy, I don't know, the viewpoints everybody just.
It's a wild thing to live through for sure.
You guys know what the very last show in Oklahoma City was? The Prince cover band.
Whoa.
Oh, really?
He refused to not play. Like, he was like, no, I'm fucking playing.
People
It was
have
like 2 weeks after the shutdown. They were like,
Dang.
nobody's going to be here. He was like, no, I refuse. Marshall Charloff, I think his name. It's like, he was like the guitarist in Prince's band. And so now he does the whole Prince cover band stuff. And he tours regionally, but yeah, he refused to not play.
That's incredible. Do you just know that, or were you there, like teching it? Or?
Michael Smith, the guy I work with,
Oh,
he ran
classic
that
Michael
show.
Smith,
Yeah, he
yeah.
was like, you fucking refused, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like,
No
fucking
way.
A. Yeah, Michael's like a 65-year-old sound guy, Skinner tech. He was
Yep.
like a tech for Skinner, so he's really like, fuck it, dude.
Yeah.
We'll do it live.
Yeah.
And shit.
Classic.
Yeah.
And do you guys all grow up in like musical families esque, or no?
I didn't.
Yeah, I
It's just cool hearing where everybody comes
necessarily.
from in that
They
regard.
could
My
strum
dad's
a few chords.
he's a painter. He's a visual
Okay,
artist.
cool.
Yeah, but not a musician. Yeah.
Yeah, my parents weren't musicians, but they were, especially my mom, but both of them were like very accommodating, like they wanted me to be a drummer.
That's
because
dope,
I
man.
seem to have a knack for it. And so like, I look back on it, I'm like, how the fuck did they put up with that? Like,
Power
so
to parents
annoying,
everywhere, man.
so annoying. And yet they let me do it. Never like, not even a vibe, of like, hey, maybe not today. Never happened, so.
Oh, that's
yeah, they were
fantastic.
Good
fucking
parenting.
Badass.
Yeah, shout out. Hell yeah, man. Shout out to them.
Yeah, my grandma was a piano player and sang at church kind of thing. That was
Okay,
the
yeah.
gospel singer kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
which is a vastly different level of music interpretation.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I was really involved in church music, like in my early teens as well. It was like I was doing goddamn everything, like I was in choir, I was in the handbell choir, I was doing the praise band shit.
Handbell
For
choir.
the-
Hell
yeah,
yeah, dude.
like there's like
Ding,
15
ding, ding,
people.
ding,
Yeah.
ding,
Yeah,
ding,
like,
ding, ding,
and,
ding,
and
ding, ding, ding.
all I can equate it to is that there were a lot of cute girls that were in the church programs as well, and that kind of tied me in. I had a lot of friends in it too, but I mean, I got
Pulling a lot of chicks in handbell.
I got a lot of time doing music shit, and then I was in all the school shit too, so it was just like music, like even though 85-90% of what I was doing was
And now you're like, God damn it, I'm never
Pretty
swinging
lame.
another bell again.
I actually, dude, I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, man, I
Yeah,
maybe-
pick them up. Get the case out. And
I got
dust it
that-
off.
I
It's
got
like
that
a
kit
different
back
color
there.
tails and
I
I
shit.
mean, it
You would look
mean-
pretty good in the robe.
It would mean having to go like back to church, which that would be kind of a.
Come on, guys, give this man a handbell
But-
solo.
But it,
There's room
I
for
mean,
it.
it's kind of it works like a drum line. You know what I mean? Like with like, if you look at it, like all the bells are different bass drums. And like in a marching band, you've got like 5 or more bass drums, and they're all tuned differently. It's like that. So strangely, it kind of prepared me for drumline when I got into high school. It was really weird.
What'd you play in drumline?
I was a snare drummer, and then later on, I did the quints, which was like really bad for my back. That
Yeah,
was-
that's the exact same thing my wife would say.
yeah.
She did
it, like,
tenors, and she was
I
like,
think it ruined my
back
shit
is
for
destroyed.
Sure. Like,
Yeah.
like it's just all black in there. It's like my spine,
Fuck.
like the discs or whatever. They're just like black tar.
Yeah, I
Lord
did.
have
It's
mercy.
fucking terrible. Holy shit. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
It hurts often. Okay.
The bass drum is not as heavy.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Because my
Oh,
teacher
shit,
was
I didn't
like,
know that.
yeah, because she was like, because I wanted to be in jazz band, and she was like, you have to be in
You
the
gotta
class
do
the whole
that
semester,
first,
so
yeah.
you have to be in marching band in the
Yeah,
fall,
those
and jazz band
teachers,
in the
Oh,
spring.
bastards.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
bitch. Yeah, that was it. I should have stayed on the snare drum. Honestly.
Eli, I think you got a new handbell person for Karen.
Oh
so-
yeah, most definitely. Yeah, my gal's been playing some handbells
Yeah.
with her mom,
And they're always looking for
that's
extra
like their-
people. So
It's like their daughter project. They both play
well, I
handbells.
can't-
Ooh.
Yeah.
I can't get involved in that. Like,
He'll
like,
have to do some online jamming.
Yeah, some online handbells.
Ninjam.
Yeah, but you can only play like 2 notes at a time, so you just like sit there and wait for your part to come in. There it is. Bing, ding,
he
bing.
didn't.
You guys sing it up to
It's
the
the
ping.
triangle guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that a McFarlane or what? Is
Yeah,
it?
it
Oh,
is.
shit, okay.
Yeah.
All
they could use the muscle.
right. Man, you're kind of tempting me with this shit.
Sign up.
I was telling you, he's gonna dust off the old handbell
You
case.
could you could run that.
If
You could
Marcy's
run it.
still in the program, I consider that. She was dope. Our director, this lady named Marcy. Like when I was a kid, she was like younger, which maybe like early 30s, late
Mhm.
20s. And she was just a super cool person. So if she was still running the program, I might do that. That'd be cool. That'd be all right.
Hell yeah, man. Well, we found out some handbell knowledge that
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting, but then again,
You guys got to get like
who does expect handbell knowledge?
handbell, like do like the break or whatever, and like do like a handbell. before the break.
Yeah. Well, and now, yeah, funding for the Spark and Plug Talks is brought to you by ding 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 ding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, we just need funding. Now.
Yeah, you
the,
get-
the handbells are easy.
You do the handbells first, then the advertisers. They just
They're
come
just
running.
looking at
you,
Taco
running.
Mayo.
Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah, where the fuck is Taco Mayo at? Goddamn.
They don't want to give us money. Just give me some of the potato locos.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, just have like an endless supply of that. That's cool.
Yeah, you'll read Taco Mayo.
That'll
oh,
get
yeah,
fans
why
out
not?
here. You know?
Yeah.
Like, dude, we got free potato locos.
You know, I was
Yeah.
thinking
Come and
about
get it.
that
I'd be
the
down.
other day. Like I have like this weird stoner.
Scott, what do you not think about, man?
Well, I have a stoner memory of Best Western, like doing like a promo thing for bands. You know
Best
what I mean? Like-
Western?
yeah, like on the road, their hotels and shit. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and
Motel
like,
6 is
Yeah,
like-
yeah. Like
Yeah.
somebody was doing that, and like I think I saw maybe like 3 commercials or something, and I never heard about it again.
No
It's like,
shit.
that to be like sponsored by Motel 6 or some shit. Like
They
that-
just trashed the room and then it was over.
Yeah, that's probably what.
They
happened.
never
This is a
did it
good
again.
idea.
Like roaches and beer butts and beer cans. And,
Fuck.
you know,
That is probably. how
this
it
is
happened.
over.
That would be dope though, like to get into that like low key
Yeah.
sponsorship stuff.
Man, it's
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, just one of those like, not even like the classic musics that Ernie Ball now sponsors our strings and shit, but like,
Yeah, sponsored
Just-
by Soul Tone Cymbals.
Red Bull.
They're always taking applications.
but yeah, dude, like Red Bull or
Or the
Doc
Okla-
Martens or some shit.
The
or,
Oklahoma Turnpike would be nice
Oak-
as much as we
They
use
got all
it.
that
Yeah.
fucking money,
Yeah.
those
For sure.
bastards.
Just like a free trip, like just not have to pay for bands.
just-
would be great.
We'll pay for your first trip out to the studio.
Yeah, I mean it's like 2 tickets, or it's like a ticket for the, whatever the price of a ticket is.
Yeah, the
both
Spark and
ways. We go
Plug
on
brought
both
to you by
ways.
OTA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We we
Fantastic.
gigged a lot with this really great band from the Denton area called Pearl Earl.
Oh, cool.
And, all girl psych band. So good. Awesome songs. But they had some song like sponsorship with like Dickies.
Yeah.
And it was
No
like a
way.
major like thing. It was,
What'd they
like-
wear that was Dickie? Or did they
were-
wear anything? Or?
Well, they
They
just
wore
like
the
they,
overalls, I
Like,
think.
yeah,
They did,
like,
like,
oh, cool.
like
Commercial or
Dickies,
something.
like we're just like, yeah, you're worth highlighting, and gave him a bunch of
Man,
overalls and-
They
I-
get like weird sponsors. I knew the guy that was the front of house tech for Hinder
Mhm.
on the downhill slope of their shit, and they got sponsored by Monster, and they just carried around a Monster trailer behind their RV, just with Monster in it. Like
That
not
was
decked
it.
out,
It
but
was-
they still stored shit in there, but they did have like just cases of Monster in there.
They just stop town to town and refill it.
I don't know.
It's like
Just
some
drink
cool,
Monster all
some
the
pop
fucking
song
time,
over them,
dude.
just like, here's Hindered, handing out just
It was like in the
Monsters or
summer,
whatever.
so like all the cases were hot as fuck. So it was just like, but they just had Monster. So I'm like, what a weird.
Have you
Sponsorship.
ever tried Hot Monster? It's the best, dude. It's
Oh.
the best way
Have
to
you ever
wake
tried
up.
piss?
Have you have you ever
No
tried
comment.
GI issues? The
Just boil it.
goddamn.
Just boil it.
It's a really good
Have you ever
bandage.
pissed in
boil
a
it.
bottle
Hot
of Mountain
monster.
Dew
You
and boiled it?
You
Yeah.
could sterilize bandages in that. Yeah.
Christ.
Hot damn.
It's 100 proof.
What is so you guys have been playing for 10 plus years really, and you guys got any venues that come to mind maybe that aren't around or that were just awesome, or maybe not even awesome, that are just fucking terrible?
That are
'Cause I-
gone now.
Either or,
Did you guys
or
play
maybe
the
that
Samurai?
are around as well.
I have played the
Samurai
Samurai.
Sake House?
Yeah.
Yeah, have you guys played there?
I played
No.
the Samurai.
We heard some
like,
cool stories about Samurai.
in like 98 or 99. I moved to Austin, Texas in 2000, I think it was. And so I played the Samurai like right before I moved. And I thought, I was like, fuck yeah. like, now I'm coming up, baby. Yeah, man. And that fucking pole right in the middle of the damn stage, like, so stupid.
Hell yeah.
What was that festival we played? There was like
The bright nights.
they had a
man.
stripper pole out at the
Yeah,
at the
it was a
end of the
nudist
stage.
colony by day, and they had a music festival.
Wow.
by night, and it was like a biker nudist.
Oh, I know
colony.
what you're talking about. It's
past
all wooded.
Stroud.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all wooded out, and they have that fucking stripper. I know
Yeah,
exactly where
yeah.
I've seen this place.
We
yeah.
played also this place
Route
in
66.
Fucking hey, hell yeah.
Hot Springs, Arkansas, called Maxine's, which was pretty cool. It's like it was an old brothel, and Maxine was the madame's name. But
Nice.
like super suspect, like wiring, probably like 100-year-old electricity running through that place.
No grounds on anything.
dude. It's
Well, the
questionable.
upstairs is like.
But I love
supposed to
that
be-
place. Yeah, haunted upstairs apparently.
It was like
I
a
like
spooky
how
Halloween
Maxine-
special or something.
Yeah.
It is.
Hottest show
It is
we've
that.
ever played.
Easily.
Wow.
In the Valley of the Vapors. So like we walk outside, and I don't think it was really raining.
When
But
it
it was,
started
like,
raining, that's when
foggy.
it broke.
Yeah,
you
Like
couldn't
it finally
step
like
outside.
cooled off.
It was so muggy and hot, but still a good time. Maxine's. I
Fantastic.
recommend that.
Maxine's.
Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Pretty
What
cool
about
town.
Mr. Tim?
What about Mr. Tim?
Mr.
Dr. Tim.
Oh, sorry,
No, I'm
doctor.
just kidding.
Sorry, so, doctor.
This man's got a PhD. Give him some respect.
Put some
What?
respect on my name.
Pretty hard, Dick. The what venues you play with Labris as well?
Mhm.
Are you guys all in? Are any of you guys in other projects? Anything like that?
No.
Eli is part owner of Opolis, so shout out to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Opolis,
Shout out to
Diane
Opolis.
Norman.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Because that's cool as fuck. It's cool that you guys it is the cooperative.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most
that's-
definitely.
that's
It's
really
been a
cool.
Great experience for sure. It's
Badass,
a really
man.
great crew. Love them all. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That's badass. Power to you.
Come out
'cause
to the Opolis and see some shows.
Yeah.
Get some food.
that's got to be a ton of work.
It's a
It's
lot
gotta
of
be
work.
an insane amount
It's
of
a
work.
lot of work. Yeah.
Power to you, man.
Yeah. It's a good group though.
Dr. Tim?
So you're talking about like shitty venues or like what?
Either or, man. You speak on what you're comfortable with, because I'm not gonna say
well-
here and say what's the shittiest venue you ever played, and then he's like, well, the Opolis has been pretty bad. For
Right up there with Chuck E. Cheese's.
What was that place that we? I don't remember the name of it. It was with the Jug Band, but we played this show. It was outside, and there was a band playing inside too. But we like brought our own like all our PA stuff, set it all up, played it, and then they locked the gate, like
Ooh,
so we
fuck.
couldn't get our stuff out of the like the backyard or
So you had
whatever.
to get one guy on the other side and then
No,
push it all
no,
over
we-
the other one.
Like yeah, we
It's like
we
some
had to
kind of
go
great
through-
escape.
It was like Blues Brothers or something, but it was like we had to like take all of the gear like through the venue as the other band's like playing like in the middle of their set.
Yeah.
And it was just like they gave us shots and stuff, so it was okay. That's probably
The way to a
that's-
musician's heart.
Yeah.
Free booze, please.
Yeah, tequila.
I was playing keyboards in that band and had just the goofiest setup. It was like an old like 90s, like Yamaha with all the sound effects and stuff on it like that.
We had the crowd.
The
Yeah,
Taco
and
Bell,
we- and I
Taco
had-
Bell, Bell Ding. or
Yeah, I
something.
had like the crowd sound on there, and like they finished with a song and I hit it because there wasn't even enough room for me on the stage, so it was like off to the side, and I could see them all, and like I hit that button, and like as soon as I did, they were all just like, yeah, like fuck yeah, like we were great, I guess. Or whatever.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was,
They didn't know that until now.
They just got catfish.
Yeah,
Fuck.
for sure, yeah.
The Jug Band, no.
Yeah.
And then you hit him with the Seinfeld
Yeah.
bass slap.
Yep.
Well, how many albums has HKS released?
Two
Yeah.
full length and
Two full
then
length.
2 EPs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is there a live one in there, or am I
We've
misremembering?
No.
thought about releasing a live.
Not a live one yet.
Okay.
We did
could,
the
I
Summer
just-
Breeze,
yeah.
and it's recorded and everything. That
Oh,
and
very
Norman,
cool.
But we haven't released it or anything. There's been talks.
How do you guys go about in the creative process of writing an album? What's been your flow to get there so far? Is it just kind of like I have some
different every
ideas,
time,
I
I
have
guess.
some, I've been needing to get these ideas out.
A lot of it kind of starts in Eli. You know, he spends a
Yeah.
lot of time writing and,
Mhm.
and kind of demoing out ideas and stuff. And then, you know, he brings it to us and then we kind of, you know, do our thing with it and we kind of dial in the arrangements and the
Okay.
dynamics and stuff like that. But not that ideas aren't, you know, welcome from anybody, but it really just kind of marinates with his brain really a
Right
lot of
on.
the time.
You
Our,
guys,
our latest EP, Chroma Crawl, we kind of all wrote in the room.
okay, that's my next
together.
question. Do you guys
Yeah,
find
got
it
more of a
easier to
vibe, yeah.
kind of all be together and writing at the same time, or is it kind of like I know like a
I think
band like
that's kinda
Death
how
Cab
we
for
like
Cutie
to
will
do
send
it.
like just MP3s back and forth and back and forth and back and
Mhm.
forth until they have not a fully fleshed out song, but like an 80% song, and then they
Mhm.
get together and they're
Definitely
like, all right,
that
let's
too.
tidy it
Mhm.
up.
Yeah,
I think that's
think
how we were doing it
Try
at
to change
first.
it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
like when in the very beginning, yeah, for sure. It started as a recording project, so it was very like, here's this, come in and put it apart. You know, very kind of
yeah.
like dissected and. Yeah, and then for the second one, I guess we did kind of the same thing, and then
It's more of like a together.
but we had
kinda
written the
writing.
songs. You know, we had been playing them out too, so that informed the recordings as well. And then, yeah,
And
the
Eli's
last.
just a workhorse too. He's got like, seriously, no joke. He's probably got like maybe 200 ideas or
I
something.
try to
don't
write
know.
every day. That's
Yeah.
my favorite.
So
thing.
I like sift
Props to you,
through
man.
all that and try to find.
That's
good
the flip
ones,
side of
you
that.
know?
Someone's got to sift through it all.
This should be a handbell song, not a Skelter song. Yeah.
Did
But
you
yeah,
guys like the process one way or either one more than the other,
I
or
like-
just kind of?
I like the different results that the different
Mhm.
kind of
Yeah, for
processes
sure.
bring. You know, like
What- yeah.
so
What
you don't
was
get
it?
stuck doing the same.
What was it that you said the other day about Picasso?
Oh well, you just like all kinds of artists. They like will change their process, you know, to get a different result. You know, and we're in the middle of doing that right now too. We're gonna kind of like strip down and stop. We've been practicing at the Opolis in that bar we had mentioned
Mhm.
that we had played at during COVID, and now we're gonna go back to Tim's living room. Kind of like quiet it down a little bit so we can all hear
We
each
got
other and
electric drums.
communicate ideas and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. Just for the writing process. You know?
That's what they always say.
But yeah, trying to do something different every
Yeah,
time
to
to kind of
just
keep
get
it
a
interesting.
different result.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, I don't know, man. It's like I was telling Tim before we started. Me and Aaron, we were born of the. We were raised up in the studio mindset. We didn't really start playing live until just by easy access to my grandpa's studio. We'd already been fucking around with studio shit,
Mm-hmm.
just like slapping as much compression as possible
Yeah.
onto every single track because it made it louder. That's what it
Explained to
sounded
us
like.
that it was like, you want your shit loud, put a compressor on there. Fucking- and then I found presets, and I was like, whoa, fuck yeah, man.
Didn't bust anything and
yeah, reverb on every
crashed
channel.
that
Yeah.
Mac a million times.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what we did, and we didn't really play live. I mean, we were in, oh God, we had a little high school cover band that played at like basketball games and shit. And we convinced them to play some happening tunes. Okay,
Yeah.
we weren't just playing "Take It Easy." We're playing
I want to do Walking on the Sun because I wanted to drum to that so bad.
Yeah, he wouldn't let
Man,
us,
motherfucker.
Tim's band
Still
covered,
fucking pissed about that.
Tim's band covered "Killing in the Name of"
Oh,
at the
hell
high school.
yeah, dude.
Bad,
Nice.
bad Mama Jim.
and
Hell
said,
yeah.
and said
That was the band
the
name.
line, you know.
Oh, you said the line.
Yeah.
Said the line.
We had to replace.
Yeah.
We had to replace "Warm
Fucking
Smell"
A.
of
Fajitas.
whatever they say in Hotel California.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with "Warm Smell of Fajitas."
That's maybe
Huh.
better.
Weird.
So yeah, we couldn't even say that because it was a reference to
but-
Marowini.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Yeah, now I think it'd hear us anyways.
Entertaining and
Towards the end of the
informational.
season,
Yeah.
they started playing.
Informational,
They still
informational,
played like
informational.
fucking music over the PA as we were playing.
Yeah.
They're like, can you turn
Yeah,
the
and like
PA
our
the
band
music up?
teacher, there's one. I remember
Yeah, can you turn down the
clearly.
Drake
he
so
was
we can
like,
play
"What are you
Take It
doing?"
Easy?
Like, tell them turn it down. They were like, "Fuck!" Like they like turn it down. They're trying to warm up and shit, and we're like, "We're trying to play Take It Easy."
we rolled with it. We
Yeah.
rolled with it. But yeah, man, we
Fucking Eagles, man.
and we started, but we started in the studio, and it's just been like I don't know. You like you were saying, you just develop totally different processes, and then as we've
methods.
gone through, yeah, exactly, and as we've gone through different iterations of like what our studio looks like, who we are as musicians, it just seems like you kind of get rid of bad habits as you realize they're bad habits.
You know what
but-
to leave behind.
Yeah, but besides that, it's just like an improvisation of the process, really. And there is no definition of the process. There is no guide to it. It's just kind of like doing what
Jump in.
works, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
It's always just, I always like to see kind of what different methods people have taken and stuff, because everybody's the same but also different in bizarre music-esque, creative-esque kind of ways.
It's always exciting to try new things too and new ways of doing it. And yeah, yield different results. To change up something that to get out of your comfort zone, even like if you just get too good at guitar, you know, like and only play the guitar and that's all you play, you know, you'll never be the best. But you can be weirder than somebody else, or you can have your own sound, you know, that you've gone and experimented, and then, you know, now that's your style or whatever, and that's who you are as a guitar player. You're never going to be as good as the best of the best of the best, unless you are, you know.
Right.
There's probably some 7-year-old kid.
That's better than
Yeah,
us.
that's better than
That's
all of us.
already
you
on
know, like,
YouTube.
yeah,
That's
already on YouTube.
already way more
or
famous,
whatever.
yes.
But yeah, I think like getting outside of your comfort zone can yield interesting results. You know, playing an instrument that you're not proficient at can also yield like results that are interesting. You
That's
know,
why we
you're
have that
coming at it-
didgeridoo for you
Yeah,
there, Tim.
that's what it's all about.
Warming up.
Tim
warming up.
Tim is actually pretty good. He's got one in his own living room, so I don't know.
Like I said, I used
Yeah.
to.
You were
I used
trying to
get-
hustle us.
Yeah,
I
he's
used to get
sharking you over
the delay pedal, and then you just loop it, and then you
Yeah.
get that. You don't have to circular breathe, and then you can
Wow.
So
fucking
holy
cool.
shit!
I
I
don't
know
know.
about that.
Yeah,
like I don't know. Sounds like a cool good.
They just
time
don't want you
me.
to
I
learn
don't
this
know.
one trick.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I used to have
Not the
parties and just
secrets.
do that. Like,
So you can give it a shot before you leave.
It's like
I wanna
Ron
hear it.
Burgundy.
I can.
We'll
Let me,
Clorox the end of it or something. Let it dry.
Like I said, wet lips. That's a secret. So I've heard.
Yeah, I'll try it out for sure.
Fuck
What,
You got a delay pedal?
Nice.
I'll show you guys.
Somewhere around here.
What's HKS got in the pipeline? So you guys did 3 songs for us, and third one, is that a newer one?
The third one's off of Chroma Crawl, and then the other 2 are unreleased. Right?
Oh, the other 2 are on.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
very cool. Okay,
But we have recordings of them. We just need to finish them up.
classic.
Yeah.
We'll get around to those one day.
Yeah. When I feel
Godspeed.
like it.
What's,
the plan is to have the full length out this year.
Okay,
with,
super dope.
Horton Records out of Tulsa.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
badass, man.
And,
Yeah.
they kind of helped us with this EP that we just put out last, I think it was June. And I don't know, we're just trying to like get back into the habit and the pattern of like working
Yeah,
and
for sure.
balancing.
Write
like,
more
work
stuff.
and-
Yeah, it's a writing time right now.
Mhm.
Oh, right on. Very cool. Yeah.
So, and we're just
Well,
trying
with
to be,
a
like-
song every day, man. That's
I
awesome.
mean, fragments, I would say.
Well,
Yeah.
either way, either or.
songs.
That's still
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah,
That's
I
still
like
really
the
cool.
starting part better than the finishing part
Yeah.
sometimes. So
Yeah.
so you know,
Well, either way, super cool,
Yeah.
commendable. Especially, it's not an easy thing.
oh, it's not work
It's
to
not
me. I
easy.
love doing it. It's
Fantastic,
just what I like
man.
to do. Yeah,
Hell yeah. Well, I know I can't say for certain when this episode's going to come out. In my head, if I did the math quickly, it'd probably be sometime in mid-March. Then, so no, most of the time I say like what shows you guys got coming up, but then like you'll name the shows you got coming up, but
they'll be done.
it won't
Yeah,
come
yeah,
out until
no, it won't
mid-March. So
happen.
then it's pretty much useless. But I guess for our sake, you guys have any shows that you have coming up after maybe later in the year, anything like that? That
Are we going to be at
Gosh.
Norman Music Festival?
Norman Music Fest. Then we're gonna be in Kansas City in May.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Alright.
Lawrence.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Playing a really cool show with the Ear Slips and the Dull Drums from Tulsa
Opolis.
at
cool.
the Opolis.
Yeah,
To the end of March.
Yeah,
that's
the
the end of
29th.
March, and then so is Denton too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Denton.
playing
yeah, busy, man.
Andy's,
Yeah.
Andy's in Denton. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, props to you guys,
2024,
man.
keeping it busy.
Yeah,
keeping it busy.
your year.
Mhm.
Yeah, hell
Yeah.
yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you guys. Like I said,
Appreciate
really
you.
appreciate you guys coming out
Dude,
because
thank
no,
you.
this is
for
awesome.
It's not
having us.
always-
It's been great.
it's always a lot of fun. But I always like seeing people's like faces when they first put, because it's always a beautiful mixture of like, cool. Also, where am I?
Yeah.
Also,
Hey, and you didn't get
cool.
murdered.
Yeah.
So, congrats, guys.
Yeah.
It's kind of
You
fun
made
to
it.
have
Keep on going back to that back room. Yep.
Yeah.
Keep going. More and more.
No, all of you at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were joking about what
Take
happened
off all
in
your
the
jewelry,
last
please.
band. What were you guys joking about when we were pulling up about like the last band that was out here or something?
That's
Oh, yeah.
exactly what happened with the last band, and we're like, what happened to them after that?
No, you got me. You got me. That's why we named
I
it the
guess
murder
we're not.
bathroom for a
I
reason.
guess we're not out of here yet.
Fuck.
so-
Yeah.
No,
Never
I
heard
think
from
when
the
I
guy.
walked up at first, I was like, this is an enviable setup out here, away from everything, no distractions. You got all your gear and all your, space to do what you
Yeah,
like. It's
definitely pros
beautiful.
and cons for sure.
You guys
Yeah.
have
But
a
it's
really
also
cool
like,
spot.
damn, I really wish I could just go get something for lunch right now.
Yeah,
But it's like
yeah.
30 minutes away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's always nice.
What
but-
is the best spot that's
Yeah.
close? Because
Is there anything in
Um,
Wellston?
Hey, man,
what
those
is today?
fucking-
Saturday?
those,
If you want barbecue, there's the barbecue stand right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, we heard about that.
They're like probably the most. I don't know. You
They're
look
pretty well known.
Yeah, you
Very
look
well
where you
known.
look, and they're like the best barbecue in the state in a bunch of lists.
okay,
It's a cool
But
spot too.
I
Nice.
worked. Me and Levi, the guy who owns it, he's a cool guy, and
Nice.
they do a
What-
bunch
what
of
is it?
really cool shit. It's a butcher barbecue stand.
Is
Okay.
it still?
Yeah.
Are they probably sold out at this point today? Is it
Um,
one of those
let's see.
things?
There's a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
There's a
chance,
chance.
but it's 3, so you
But
might also be
there's
okay.
a gas station right up just a stone's throw away, and they got some pretty good roller items.
Nice.
Tamale or something.
Roller
Dang it,
dog.
John's not
Yeah,
here.
John's a roller dog.
I
guy.
fucking love that
Roller
shit.
dog.
man.
Yeah.
There's a
fucking
Subway
weakness
there,
of
too.
mine.
Every time we go to any like gas station or anything, John's always like loaded up on
Something
like,
about that shit, man. Something about
Really?
gas station food, man.
He
gas
bought,
station
like, this-
burrito or some
Good
shit.
fucking lord.
giant like
yard of beef jerky.
Yeah. It's like-
Yeah.
It looked like a tire tread.
It
Yeah.
did look like a tire tread. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it
it's
tasted
gone,
like a
because that
tire tread,
motherfucker ate
too.
it. He ate
Yeah.
it.
It was
I don't think
gross.
he-
We
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
finish
Cheese with the
it,
Slim
yeah.
Jims.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Pork
Slim Jims
rinds.
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
You're like
Yeah.
testing out your
Well,
Your
I will
bowels.
leave.
Yeah.
I will leave our wonderful listeners with that image in mind.
Us eating a bunch of
And
Slim Jims.
yeah, is what better encapsulates
load up.
HKS?
Here comes
Yeah.
the sponsorship.
That's what we do. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, appreciate you guys, and everybody can find you at Helen Kelter Skelter, all that on all the socials,
That's
all
where
the
we're at.
all the stuff.
And HelenKelterSkelter.com.
Ooh, and the website, not .net, not .rock. Oh,
Damn, they got the .com domain.
the,
Good for you.
you can find
I
them.
think
You
we
can
own the net one too. I think I'm not sure.
Hell yeah. Well, it's probably like an additional $3 bundle or something like that, right? They roped you in.
We
They
really
got you
had to-
good.
yeah. Pay up.
And you can go and check out, well, if you haven't seen their episode, I don't know why you'd be listening to this, but, maybe you listen to the podcast first and then go watch their Spark and Plug episode. I'm not sure. Whatever preference works. I don't know. What do you do, Aaron?
It's pretty weird. I definitely want to do that. I'd
Okay.
probably watch the video first, then listen to the podcast.
Well, to each their own.
Take
And
breaks.
we'll leave it with that. Once again, thanks you guys for coming out, and
Thanks,
peace.
guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,